What if I were to tell you that I found a place where bucket list dreams are made of? You can walk and have personal encounters with black bears and polar bears, moose, and of course the northern lights. Well, I did find this place, and it's in northern Manitoba, part of the Churchill Wild team. This is Nanook Polar Bear Lodge. Oh, and of course, you have the opportunity to catch wild sea-run brook trout. This wild northern adventure in Manitoba starts right now on the new Fly Fisher.
Welcome to Churchill, Manitoba, the polar bear capital of the world. A short flight from Winnipeg International Airport lands you in this quiet subarctic town known internationally for its large number of polar bears. It is called, after all, the polar bear capital of the world. People travel from all over the world to bear witness to the annual migration of bears along the Hudson Bay coast. This town of 800 residents is often visited by bears, as the southwestern region of Hudson's Bay is home to between 900 and 1,000 animals. October and November are prime time to see the bears. However, we've arrived in September, and the migration has just started. And though the bears will be an added bonus, we're on the make for sea-run brook trout, fresh from the ocean. We're at Churchill Wild's Nanook Polar Bear Lodge, a fantastic oasis among the Arctic tundra. After an even shorter flight from Churchill to Nanook, we got suited up and hit the river immediately, our mode of transportation being as unique as this adventure itself. An hour bike ride up the coast lands us at our first tributary.
So this is Nolan Booth. He's the lodge manager for Churchill Wild. Nolan, what an adventure getting here this morning. Where are we and what's the plan for the day?
Today we're going to chase some brook trout. We've got the Mistikokan River here, let's call it 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers from Nanook Polar Bear Lodge. We've got resident brook trout, we've got sea-run brook trout. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get out here and see what we can catch.
Perfect. I've never even fished for sea runs. I mean, that's a rarity around the world. What should I do? What should I throw at them?
West side of the Hudson Bay is incredible for sea-run brook trout. The biggest thing here is we are the first people to walk up to this river and throw a fly today. So basically grab your first thing out of your box and let's see where we start.
Really? First anglers of the year?
Absolutely.
This is going to be sweet.
Fishing with us on this trip are father and son, Craig and Tommy Haitmanic, excellent fly anglers in their own right.
It makes sense whenever you travel, whether you're traveling within North America or worldwide, to check your regulations wherever you're going. We're in northern Manitoba here, and all of Manitoba has a barbless hook rule. So pinch the barb down. It's easier on the fish, it's easier on the angler, and God forbid you ever get something stuck in you, it can back out really simple. But the key to this is making sure that these fish are looked after properly. You know what? This is a sea-run fish.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
How do you know?
So as you can see, when you look at him, how silver he is.
I see that.
Right? No color, no orange. You can barely see. It's the beginning of the blues around the red dots. And if we're lucky, if we look at him, you might be able to see some sea lice on him. If there isn't any sea lice on him, that means he's been here in fresh water for more than 24 hours.
Okay.
So tonight is the full moon. Highest tide of the month, and tomorrow fresh run of fish should come in with the full moon, and you're putting on a clinic today, man. Your first sea run brook trout, that is just fantastic.
Beautiful fish, neat story.
Very different, eh? Go when he wants. So we've come to this first spot here at the absolutely ideal time. We're about an hour before high tide. Brook trout are part of the char family, and being sea run means they're coming in from the ocean up into fresh water. So as the tides come up, that's the brook trout's cue to start coming up the rivers. And we should start seeing fresh fish push in from the ocean coming up the river. What do you got on, Nolan?
Leech. A little black and red leech with a yellow eye.
I like that because that means you and I are covering the water column. Fish. Grabbed it hard. Super hard. This is a good fish too, man. All right. Nice. It's been, oh, he came loose. You know, it's been a bit of a tough morning. Trying to find these fish. It froze last night, it was -7. And today, it's a beautiful day, supposed to get up to +7. I think these fish are just down deep. They're gonna warm up, we're gonna find them. Fish.
Oh, there we go.
There he is. Nice. Keep working the rapids,
Weird,
I guess.
really weird grab this fish did.
Cool.
I was at the end of the cast on the dangle, and I was just starting to strip it back in, and this fish came and grabbed it. So they are deeper. It got really cold last night. Everything froze up in the small ponds, and I think it's just a matter of time before the fish wake up, they warm up, they wake up, and they come a little shallower. I'm fishing with a floating line, but with a weighted fly, a Zudler, which is like a cross between a zonker and a muddler minnow. It's black. Here we go, first fish of the day.
You hit twice or what?
The second fish. I lost the first one. All right, if you wouldn't mind netting that guy for me. Oh,
Beauty
all right,
fish.
what a good one for the first fish of the day.
Nice, man.
Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's sweet. That's a sea run, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My very first sea run brook trout. That's fantastic.
Killer, man.
Thanks. So what's the difference between sea run and residence?
Biggest thing you're gonna see is all the colors. So you got some color in these, lots more silver. When you get into the residence, they're gonna be bright orange all the way down them.
All right, let's get a measurement, then we can let them go.
We got 10 and 10. We got a 20.
20 incher.
Killer.
Spectacular. For the first fish of the day, it doesn't get any better than that. So that was a very interesting take by that brook trout. I'm casting across the river, letting it just slowly swing, and then on the dangle at the very end, I'm giving it a couple of strips in, and that's when he grabbed it, right as soon as that fly started pulsing and moving away from the fish. Nolan and I decided that we were gonna go for a little bit of a walk, and we found the tip of this island. Nolan started up top, I came down halfway to this little peninsula, first cast, and I got a stud brookie on here. I wonder if it's a resident. Yeah, it looks like a resident, doesn't it?
Yeah, awesome. Still nice and big.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Got him. Yeah,
What a
he's definitely a
fantastic
resident.
brookie.
Definitely a res. A little bit smaller than our sea run, but look at the colors on him.
Look at that. Now look at the difference in the color. The dots on the sea run fish were bright orange. These are way more red, and this is a seriously darker fish. Well, thanks for a fantastic day, Nolan.
What a fantastic day one. Tonight is the full moon and what should be the biggest tide of the month, which means tomorrow the sea run brook trout should be here in spades.
We're going to talk a little bit about bear safety and how we're going to bring you guys all back at the end of the day.
Nanook Polar Bear Lodge is strategically situated along the bear's migration route for maximum opportunity for encounters. The lodge's high fences, expert guides, and every step of the way safety protocols have resulted in 25 years of incident-free observation. The brook trout fishery at Nanook is brand new and has only been experienced by a few lucky anglers. The rivers are pristine, untouched, and loaded with both resident fish as well as the sea run fish of September. But today, the weather is very different. Still cold, but overcast and raining. We aren't alone here at the lodge, so I have local guide Kevin Brightnose along with me to offer angling support and protection should we come across wolves or bears.
Well, that was cool. I'm really having a lot of fun fishing this part of the river. It's quite unique in that I'm able to fish 3 different styles, 3 different pieces of structure with one cast. On my left, I've got willows that extend well over the river, so there's a really nice undercut where these trout can hide. In river middle, we've got all kinds of boulders and structure. Fish are there, I know it. And on the right-hand side, I've got a grass island that also seems to have an undercut bank. So with a single cast, I can put it in the willows, bring it out, fish the undercut, let it swing across, fish the boulders, and complete the swing right over to the grass to be able to fish the undercut grass on River Right. This is really neat. You're fishing 3 different pieces of structure with one cast. You don't get to see that very often. Fish. Oh, little guy. The weather has changed dramatically from the first couple of days. There's a ton of cloud cover, which helps a lot, but it also feels warmer. I mean, we've been battling the cold, and we just got out here first thing this morning. This is the river that runs right behind the lodge, and first cast, this neat little fish came out from behind a rock. Let's see if he's a sea runner or a resident. Little brook trout, but you know what? That is okay. Look at that. Looks like he's a little sea run. No orange, very silver. Fun way to start the day. That's a fish. All right, what I thought was a piece of wood on my first swing through wasn't. It was actually a brook trout. And this one is a good one. So I'm fishing with a cone-headed black woolly bugger with a little bit of green in it. And it's a small profile fly, super small. Barbless, of course. We're here to catch these fantastic sea run brook trout. So that's what you come to northern Manitoba for. Sea run brook trout, fresh from the ocean, coming up, getting ready to spawn. 20-inch fish, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, fish on. I got one too. Wow, he's coming at me. What's interesting about where we're fishing right now is there's no reason for these trout to be here. The only structure that's here is some small rocks and a bunch of grass. And the only thing I can think of is that these fish are laying in the grass, getting ready to move up. Oh, this is a good fish. Really nice one. This one's a resident. You can tell by the color, it's really dark. It hits so hard. So Kevin's actually got a sea run trout on and I've got a resident. We'll put them side by side in the net and show you the differences between them in their color. Let's get one into the net first. Two. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna walk these fish over and show you the difference between a sea run brook trout that's fresh out of the river and a resident. The colors are fantastically different. So you can clearly see the difference between a resident fish and one that's fresh out of the ocean. This fish, the ocean fish, will eventually color up really dark like the resident fish, and you can already see the spots are starting to form. A lot of orange, the leading fins, the white on the leading fins and the orange fins. They're absolutely fantastic fish, whether they're sea runs or the residents. Brook trout are just incredible. That is absolutely incredible. To be within 30 feet of each other, catch a sea and a resi, totally fun.
Coming up, we head out in style in search of more big Manitoba brook trout. Nanook Polar Bear Lodge has the ability to access previously inaccessible rivers via helicopter. Heli-fishing opens up tributaries which literally haven't seen anglers in 100 years. They are that remote.
You do know how to travel in style, my friend. That was an epic ride in. That was a lot of fun. What's up today?
We're fishing. We're on a river west of the lodge, probably about 15 kilometers. It was a little tough to get here today, but here we are. We're ready to start, and hopefully it'll be similar to yesterday. A whole bunch of sea runs.
Brookies again?
Absolutely, sea runs and residents. So.
Okay. Well, I've got a black bugger and a white bugger tied on. Let's see what the fly of the day is going to be.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Kind of right where we were just talking about they should be, right?
Yeah. On a black bead-headed leech. Nice 12-inch fish. We've been hit with a bit of a cold front here the last couple of days. It's getting well below zero at night, and it has affected the fish, the residents anyway.
Absolutely.
The sea run fish are just starting to come in, and we're starting to see them now. They're a lot bigger and they're a lot more aggressive. This water's freezing cold, I'm here to tell you.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Only place without ice today.
And you know what? That's brook trout fishing, man. It's sometimes it's all or not, and it looks like things are turning around.
Hope so.
This is a unique situation here. We've got trees directly behind us and two different kinds of moving water in front of us. Fast water moving downstream and a back eddy slower moving upstream. So what I'm doing is I'm using the surface tension of the water to do a reverse roll cast. I'm left-handed, and generally my roll casts come off my left shoulder, but because of the situation we're in, I have to do a reverse cast. So what I'm doing is using the water to get that cast across the run. Then with a high rod tip to keep the line off the slow moving back eddy, I'm able to fish the entire run, to swing it, and hopefully catch a brook trout.
Oh, got him.
Sweet.
A little resi. They're neat little fish. Got to get them out from under these banks here. And
you know, it's interesting because in the summertime, when the sea run trout aren't here, right? Yep. That happens in the fall.
Absolutely.
That run happens. You've got a reliable resident stock brook trout fishery here, which is fantastic. I mean, we've caught them up 20 inches and more. I mean, they're fantastic.
The water's a bit cold today, so they're a little slower, but they're always a good time no matter what.
Well, that's the key, right? Is you've got a small fly, very minimalist, and you're fishing it extremely slow. I'm being stubborn. I've got a big cone-headed bunny leech on, and I'm trying to rip it, trying to get that anger reaction from a big fish.
Yep.
And it's not working. You're cleaning my clock today.
Yeah, but yesterday it was tides returned.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
sure. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to take a page from your book. I'm going to slow down, floating line. I'm just going to relax and do some fishing, and hopefully the slow technique will pay off with these resi brook trout.
Cool though, all the same colors and a tiny little fish.
Yeah.
That's still pushing 10, 11 inches.
Yeah. And I say it all the time, the best part about catching these brook trout is letting them go. Gonzo.
The fishing at Nanook is just in its infancy. It's 3 years we've been doing it. It's unique down here because there's so many residents. We can spend time in multiple rivers that we have access to very close by the lodge. One of them is literally a 2-minute walk from the back door. And our long-term goals really are 2 different tides for September. So we're talking probably at the peak, maybe 12 to 14 people a year are going to come fish these rivers with us. What's it like catching a sea run brook trout? Unexplainable until you've done it. A 20-inch fish takes off like it's a salmon in the ocean. Worldwide, I would say sea run brook trout are a rare commodity. There's nowhere else I know of that you can fish for them like this. One of the things we've done at Church of Wild is keep our numbers small. All of our lodges are maximum 16 capacity at a time. We only run these for short periods of time also. This lodge here has been up and running for 7 weeks. Total, all of our lodges, all of our locations will probably be 4.5 months worth of work this year. And heli-fishing could be impressive. We've got some places that are untouched. With the helicopter here, I'll be able to take people into places in these rivers that nobody has ever fished.
Man, that fish just hit so aggressively. I think it's safe to say that this weather funk is over and these fish are starting to brighten up and feed. Wow, super strong. There is a noticeable difference. I mean, both sea run trout and resident trout are super strong, but the sea runs you can almost tell right away. They're just that little bit more energetic and rambunctious. This fish, the way it's been told to me, has come in and hasn't even been in the fresh water for more than 24 hours. After 24 hours, I've been told the sea lice die and fall off the fish. So let's get them to net and I can show you what these lice look like. So the sea lice were on his dorsal fin and they've fallen off in the net. So I'm just gonna simply let him go. There he goes, gone. If you fish long enough, inevitably you're gonna get out on a trip where the weather doesn't cooperate with what your plans are. When that happens, that isn't a be-all and end-all for your vacation or for that fly fishing trip that you've been looking so forward to. What you need to do is simply adjust your tactics to what the fish are telling you. We started out fishing fast, large flies, power fishing, if you will, looking for the aggressive fish to eat. With the weather that we've had over the last couple of days, dipping well into below zero, into freezing, the fish have changed their behavior. And what they're doing is they've gone really deep or they've gone underneath structures such as these overhanging willows. So what we're doing is I've got a setup of a 350 grain sinking line, sinking tip with a short leader on it and a floating line with a long leader on it. This rod I'm using for slow presentations of streamers, and this rod I'm using for getting underneath those willows with small little leech patterns and things like that. So what we're doing is we're going deeper, we're slowing down, and we're looking for the structure that would hide these negative fish. They will eventually turn on and they will eventually get hungry again, and when that does, and you happen to be there, it's gonna be lights out. Hey Nolan, what's the weather been doing the last little while up here?
We've had 2 weeks of extremely cold. I mean, it's the first time in September I've seen ice on the edge of the bay. We never see that. Yeah, we get the odd night where you get a little bit of snow or something, but never where there's ice building up like that. And there's chunks of ice out there that are 6-7 inches thick. We get out here and the water up here is open, but it's definitely gonna slow these fish down and put them to the bottom. Oh yeah, this is a big fish. This guy's...
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
Oh yeah, beauty.
Fish of the trip.
Love it.
So do you think this is a resident?
No, definitely a sea run. Look at how white his belly is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All white or silver, no color in the belly.
Right.
All the residents have big orange bellies on them.
Right, he's got some lice in his gills too, still.
Awesome.
Look at that.
Beautiful fish.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, that's all of 22 inches.
Yep.
Look at that.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Well, that about does it for this episode of The New Fly Fisher. Thanks for watching. I want to thank everybody at Nanook Polar Bear Lodge for their hospitality and their fantastic brook trout. I'm Mark Melnick for The New Fly Fisher. Check us out at www.thenewflyfisher.com. Remember, adventure is out there. All you need to do is go and find it. And what better way than to do it with a fly rod in your hand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the backcountry. Hi, I'm Mark Melnick from the New Fly Fisher television show. I really hope you enjoyed that full-length episode. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe today. Now, new episodes are going up all the time, so click that bell icon so that you're notified the next time we put one up.